If you've had people in your past who treated you like dirt, it's a clear indication that they didn't see your true worth. Maybe only one person treated you this way, but remember that how others see you does not define who you are. What matters is how you come out of these negative experiences empowered. Now, they are witnessing the complete change in you, and they are completely bewildered. Some of you are still in the middle of this process, while others have already seen a significant transformation. They could never have predicted that this would happen, and they could never have seen it coming. They completely miscalculated you. It shows their ignorance that they don't think you are valuable. Because of their ignorance, arrogance, and assumptions of superiority, they felt that they were better than you and that you were nothing in their eyes. They treated you like dirt, and now they are completely surprised when they realize who you are. They perceive you for the formidable entity that you truly are. They are witnessing your strength, your self-transformation, and your return. Maybe more than once, you are similar to the phoenix who rose from the ashes. They're in disbelief at how much you've changed. They now realize how mistaken they were to believe they were superior to you and that you were unimportant. They're in complete awe of how powerful and magnificent you have become. They're in shock that you've revealed who you really are. Maybe, once upon a time, they would have thrown you away like a wrinkled old piece of paper. They abandoned you like trash by the side of the road and treated you like you didn't matter. However, they are now utterly stunned. It's possible that some of them even attempted to ruin your life and reputation. They may have stolen a great deal from you, including your money, time, energy, and peace of mind. It's possible that they attempted to sever your ties to family and friends. Why? As they were jealous. They couldn't make what you had, so they desired it instead. Their envy grew from witnessing your success, generosity, and courage. Rather than advancing themselves, they made an effort to undermine you. The problem is that they were unsuccessful. They can now see how strong you still are. They're coming to understand that you didn't break, regardless of what they did. They're in awe of you now that you've demonstrated your strength, resilience, and genuine self to them, and they understand that you're not someone they can just discard or destroy. They never could have predicted your might. Because they are unable to naturally produce such riches for themselves, these people are incredibly dishonest and trick others into giving them what they desire. They envied you for having everything they want. They believe that you cannot have something if they are unable to have it. They genuinely think they have a right to everything you own. They believe it's acceptable to rob you, ruin your life, and drag you through the mud. To feel justified in treating you so poorly, these people fabricate stories for both themselves and other people. They genuinely think they are entitled to everything you own, and they use this mindset as justification for their terrible actions. Imagine, if you will, someone who has a treasure map that, rather than leading to gold, reveals a plan, a covert strategy they had in place long before they met you. This person was dishonest, behaving as your friend while plotting to scam you like a con artist. Perhaps they were trying to steal money or something else of value from you. They required from you what's known as narcissistic supply. This indicates that they required your approval and validation to feel significant and in charge. In actuality, they have always depended on you as they are unable to achieve or preserve the prosperity and stability you have in your life. They are highly damaging because they have low vibration, which indicates that they are full of negative energy. They are unable to maintain order in their lives and tend to draw turmoil and issues into them. They strive to bring people down because they are so jealous of anyone who seems to have their life together. They want to break you, to make you feel as lost and unstable as they do, to make your life a living hell. They can't stand to see you succeed while they struggle, so they aim to destroy all you've ever built, including your relationships, prosperity, and happiness. This person gave the impression that they were a member of your team and was on your side. They pretended to be concerned about you, but that was all a front. Whether it was your love, your resources, or your trust, all they wanted was what they could take from you. However, when you view this from a higher vantage point, you realize that this was a soul contract based on karma. This indicates that you were supposed to learn something significant from your interaction with this individual. Even though it was a difficult lesson, it was a necessary component of your spiritual development that made you stronger and wiser. You now know how to distinguish between people who genuinely care about you and those who are just looking to take advantage of you thanks to this experience. It was intended to subject you to a great deal of hardship. You have a newfound understanding of your own strength. You already know that you are capable of recreating everything that was taken from you, or you are in the midst of doing so, but you are producing so much more. You are becoming more in tune with the universe, manifesting more, boosting your vibration and getting more from it. What's in your heart is visible to the cosmos. It is aware of your empathy, your capacity for love, kindness, and compassion, and that you are deserving of better. Thus, 10 times over what was taken from you, you will receive back. The cosmos saw through everything you did and saw you for who you truly were. The way this toxic person, or perhaps a group of poisonous people, treated you as though you didn't matter was also witnessed by the cosmos. They were so conceited, believing they were wise and that they could get away with anything. They didn't steal anything that actually mattered, even if they believed they could trick you. They made no learning from their actions. Life is about taking lessons, but individuals who are like this frequently don't. They find themselves wondering why their lives isn't improving while they continue to make the same mistakes. However, the more times they attempt to manipulate an empath, someone who has strong feelings and compassion, the more powerful that empath becomes. The empath is rewarded by the cosmos for their goodness. Thus, you overcome and prosper while these poisonous people continue to repeat their destructive patterns. Spirit wants you to realize that this is the greatest triumph you have ever experienced. It is fortifying your heart. You're becoming aware of your own strength and how valuable you really are. This lesson held significance for some of you, as you are kind and loving empaths who frequently prioritize others. While being kind and nice to others is admirable, you also need to learn how to love and take care of yourself. You are learning to reconcile self-love with kindness through this encounter. You're coming to understand that putting your needs first and taking care of others are equally as vital as helping others. In retrospect, you may have realized how important it is, even though you previously believed it to be selfish. It does not make you terrible to love who you are and to set reasonable boundaries. Saying no and attending to your own needs is okay. This is a crucial aspect of your development and power. While many of you have gained a great deal of knowledge from this experience, these toxic, egotistical individuals have not. They continue to plot and scheme with new victims, doing the same destructive things. You've grown as a result of them. Because you didn't break apart, you resemble their greatest nightmare in their eyes. They view as a great threat anyone who might reveal their true colors and tell the truth about them. They'll put in a lot of effort to undermine you. These poisonous individuals frequently form alliances with similarly cunning individuals, commonly referred to as flying monkeys. They feel tremendously scared by anyone who could tell the truth about them, so they use promises like, "I'll be your friend if you do this for me," to get these people to do their dirty work. They would strive harder to destroy your life or hold you responsible for everything that went wrong the worse they treated you. People may be made aware of how poorly these toxic individuals treated you both during and after the relationship if they witness you struggle. They tried to undermine you and damage your reputation by forcing you into a difficult situation. Speaking up and defending yourself was the only way out for those of you who felt imprisoned. But keep in mind that this isn't about exacting revenge on them. It's about speaking up for what's right and remaining true to yourself. It won't help to fight fire with fire because that will simply draw you farther into their drama. Rather, concentrate on remaining true to who you are and what actually transpired. You defend your own tranquility and overcome their negativity by doing this. It's difficult, but maintaining emotional equilibrium is key to defeating a narcissist. Continue speaking the truth. They may attempt to frighten you and mobilize people against you in the manner of a pitchfork-wielding mob. These are additional poisonous individuals that seek to enhance their own image by defaming you. But because they underestimated your might and cornered you, their plan backfired. They expected you to crumble, yet you found your inner fortitude and resiliency. Because you've always been honest and benevolent, you're always under the protection of something bigger, something heavenly. Unbreakable love, truth, and strength are what you stand for. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Even when they attempted to trick and control you, you clung to your truth. They intended to break you, but they ended up strengthening you. It's as if they exposed you to fire with the intention of burning you, but instead you emerged stronger and more resilient than before. You've changed as a result of this event. Currently, you're someone who is difficult to manipulate or dupe. You're prospering, not simply scraping by. Many of you are applying what you've learned to support those experiencing comparable difficulties. They're seeing a side of you they never would have imagined, a person with profound insight and unwavering integrity, thanks to your newfound strength and unclouded vision. They observe your growth and your transformation into an unbreakable person. Their attempts to harm you have been transformed into teaching moments that have strengthened you even more. You're blazing brighter than ever right now, guiding people through the dark just like you were guided. This is your triumph, your metamorphosis into a person capable of facing any challenge with bravery and love. They tried to take advantage of your goodwill and confidence while using deceit and gaslighting to hide their genuine motivations from you. But because you were able to see through their facade, they are now acknowledging how greatly they underestimated you. They're shocked to see how your tenacity and knowledge come through, revealing their dishonest behavior and releasing you from their control. They were so easily tricked into believing they were superior to you by their own delusion of power. However, that is only illusion and gloom. To dispel the darkness, all you had to do was shine your genuine self, your light. This was your emancipation journey. Imagine bearing a hefty load of obligations that weren't meant for you to carry on your back. That's just how it felt, but you began to pay attention to your intuition and inner voice, which led the way. Perhaps you attempted to suppress those emotions at first in the hopes that things would improve, but ultimately the truth, which shone through all of their lies, came to the surface. This is where the direction of the cosmos and the power of love intervened. The world witnessed the injustice, the control over your life, and the ways in which you were restrained. However, it was all a part of the path that forced you to discover your inner strength and liberate yourself. Even if they didn't see it coming, the difficult path ultimately led to your personal empowerment, which was a blessing in disguise. They believed they could weigh you down by heaping all of their burdens upon you. They took everything they could from you and projected their darkness onto you, making you pay for their own transgressions. They reduced you to their servant status, making you constantly wary, fearing their wrath, and making you feel imprisoned in a shadowy world. You endured such burdens for a while until they became intolerable. It resembled the last straw breaking the camel's back. Some of you may have even had to arrange your escape in the middle of the night when no one else was there. You discovered a route out because you knew you had to. It wasn't simple to break away, but you succeeded. You made your way out of the darkness by following your gut. You've gained strength, wisdom, and freedom. The cosmos kept an eye on you and led you to this point of strength and understanding. You've overcome everything, emerging from the shadows and into your own power's light. You made the decision to let go of all the weighty demands they made of you and to become free. Imagine that even with a meager flicker of hope guiding you, it would still be sufficient. The divine has always directed you, guiding you toward emancipation and away from their manipulation and control. It was unexpected that you managed to get away. With their fake strength, which was really just intimidation and fear, they believed they had you trapped. They threw tantrums and made you feel like you had to keep things together while they acted out, acting as like they were in control. But you slipped away and shocked them. They are utterly stunned. The Hermit card indicates that you were building your strength in secret and recognizing their deceit and trickery. You didn't want to reveal your strategy to them before you were safely outside, so you kept your awareness of their game to yourself. It would be wise not to agitate them even now. It's about speaking your truth when the time is appropriate and advocating for yourself, not about getting even. It's acceptable if it takes some time for you to feel prepared to take that action. Many of you are feeling strong and prepared to make an assertive statement as you begin to move into your personal authority. To keep this person at bay, you erected high walls around yourself. You knew deep down that you had to protect yourself, therefore that's why they never saw your genuine strength. It's possible that you felt pressured to always agree with them in order to avoid getting into a fight. They believed it to be your true nature, that is, someone who would always comply with their wishes. In actuality, though, you were complying in order to protect yourself. You understood that until you were strong enough to break free, you would have to live a different life. You had to keep your true identity hidden for your own safety, feigning composure in all situations. They saw this as weakness, but in reality, it was a survival tactic. You were quietly building up your strength and biding your time to get away. And you proved to them and to yourself how powerful you truly are when that time came to break away. They thought you were simple-minded and susceptible to manipulation, so they are now astonished. Although they would grin at you, it was never sincere. It was conceit, a sly smile at deceiving you. You broke through their facade and managed to get away from them. They attempted to rob you of everything, but you were wise enough to defend yourself. It was something more than money that truly pulled them to you. Your kindness, your great vibes, and your abundance of light drew them in. These individuals yearned for care. Even in their most immature or self-centered moments, they want someone to look out for them. No matter how misbehaved they are or how much they deprive others of, all they want is someone who will always adore them. This has truly opened their eyes, or the eyes of this bunch. They appear to have a wide crown chakra and an open mind. They now feel foolish because, although they believe they were tricking you, you ultimately outwitted them. You weren't trying to trick them. Rather, you were defending yourself and possibly other people as well. They are now understanding they have been tricked as they sit there, having had their heads shattered. They overestimated their intelligence and strength. Instead, they attempted to dominate you by coercion, threats, and cowardly methods like treating you like their servant. They tried to ruin you and damage your reputation, but now that they have failed, everyone can see their true colors. They're scared by your metamorphosis right now, not because you're changing them, but rather because you're shining so brightly in your authenticity. They've never truly realized your strength. They failed to recognize that you are a strong force of love and light, and instead believe that your kindness was a sign of weakness. They made you juggle tasks and loaded you down with enormous responsibilities in an attempt to keep you occupied. In an attempt to distract and frighten you, they created a flurry of activity and drama. You had a constant sense of unease and uncertainty about what was going to happen next. Their strategy was to conceal the reality that they truly depended on you and to prevent you from realizing your actual value. However, the divine intervened. You were awakened by a light shining on you. They can now see how you've changed and developed into an even more great person. They are envious of this transformation. They are envious of the generosity and beauty of your truth, which they once attempted to exploit. They saw how kind and generous you are, so they wanted you to be their servant, enslaved to their will. But now that you're upright and radiant, you exude strength and light. They feel so frightened by your amazing metamorphosis because it reminds them of everything they will never be, and they can't handle it. They exploited your generosity. They're upset and startled that you found out the truth about them and that you had the courage to respect your limits and love yourself. They held that you ought to serve them at all times. It seemed like they were shackling you down with a blindfold on and you had no hope. However, the blindfold is coming off and hope is coming back. It might have come from a new acquaintance or a friend who is encouraging and a source of light in your life. You are receiving the truth through the answer to your prayers. They made every effort to keep you from seeing your value and asserting your authority, but they were unable to do so. Even in the face of their deceit and gaslighting, your intuition and inner voice became stronger. Their genuine abusive personality showed through their disguise as they grew more conceited. They misjudged you, believing you were unaware of what they were doing, but you were simply following along while having a clear view of everything. They removed their mask to expose their true nature, which was one of depravity and mental instability. You came to the realization that it was no longer your burden. All of the misery and suffering they brought into your life, you took back. Even after they had taken everything from you, they could not bear to watch you succeed without them. Within a month, they were deeply in debt and broke. They don't earn their fortune honestly, thus they can't hang on to it. Instead, they deceive and pilfer. They had nothing left over after everything you had done for them. You left them in a difficult situation when you ran away, but it was their mess to clear up, not yours. They still blame you for their difficulties, though, and act as though they deserve your assistance. They never bothered to establish wealth or stability for themselves. Rather, they clung to you because they didn't want to or couldn't work hard enough. They attempted to destroy your life as retaliation for you leaving them, but they failed to realize that their own deeds brought about their own demise. The final portion of this scenario speaks to the possibility that this person continued to attempt to harm you after you distanced yourself from them through written correspondence, including texts, emails, and even letters, possibly by sending offensive remarks or attempting to manipulate the truth to cast you in a negative light. But this was all just another ploy to bring you low in the hopes that you would become so terrified or guilty that you would return. You didn't fall for it, though. You remained firm because you were able to see through their lies. You came to the realization that you deserved more and that their issues were entirely self-inflicted. You took charge of your life by leaving them to clean up the mess you made. And now, all they have to deal with is the fallout from their own decisions. If you have encountered such manipulative people in your life and they have tried to spread false information about you, you should know that their main goal is to weaken you and keep control. But you have already prevailed by not participating in their games and keeping your cool. See this as a spiritual victory, not a struggle for prestige. The strength and wisdom you have gained on this journey will carry you forward. Remember, staying strong, standing up for what is right, and keeping the faith is paramount. The challenges that come your way are only there to make you stronger. Please subscribe to my channel and let's continue to strengthen and support each other on this journey. I would like to close with a prayer. O Father, I forgive those who oppose me. Guide me to the right path and enable me to walk in love and patience with those who persecute me. I trust in your justice. Strengthen my heart and make me wiser as I walk in your light. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Let's continue to grow and strengthen together.